I'm going to be putting NHL players back on teams that nobody remembers them being on, and one of these lucky teams will be able to go on at the end of the year and win the Stanley Cup. Starting out with the Ducks, Shea Theodore is back. He honestly, I think he got drafted here. Not a lot of people really remember that, although he's an 89 overall. I think that's the only person I put back on Anaheim, so there we go. The Ducks, I guess, got a little bit better. The Boston Bruins will regain Dougie Hamilton, 89 overall, as well as Tyler Seguin, who of course got drafted here. Healthy scratch in the press box, I believe, in the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't know if it was the finals, maybe it was just the playoffs. At the end of the day, he won a cup there back in 2011. Moving on over to Buffalo. I didn't really do anything for Buffalo outside of Casey Middlestat, so 85 overall, not really the greatest upgrade there. We got Sean Monahan back with Calgary. I brought back not only Mikko Rantanen, but also Marty Necas and Jake Gensel to the Carolina Hurricanes. It's honestly been a pretty bad year and a half for them. They've lost all three of these great players to other teams for whatever reason. Also, Noah Hannafin is coming back at an 87 overall, so Carolina honestly are one of the strong favorites to end up winning it in this video. I have thrown Bobby Orr back on the Chicago Blackhawks. I think he ended his career here. He's a 96 overall. Artemi Panarin is returning to the United Center as well. We move on over to Colorado. I didn't do anything there. The Columbus Blue Jackets get PLD back, and honestly, I don't think they're too happy about it. Dallas will have Jaromir Jagr at a 94 overall. Val Nichushkin is back also at an 86. The Red Wings, I mean, I guess Filip Hronek is a great upgrade, potentially, probably not. I know EA tends to overrate their Vancouver Stars. I mean, Stars, what am I even saying there? This dude is like a solid top four defenseman at best. Thankfully, Dylan Holloway is back on the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, do I ever miss him? He's an 88 overall, so he's going to be our third best player behind Leon and Connor. The Florida Panthers, they get back Jumbo Joe, who did play there indeed. Vinny Trocheck's back on the roster. Claude Giroux, who was there for like a playoff run and a half. Le Montreal will have Mikhail Sergachev at an 88 overall. Pretty much everybody on Montreal is homegrown, so it was kind of tough to find a player that played on the Canadiens and nobody really knew about it. For the Nashville Predators, Matthias Ekholm is back on that team. The Devils will get back Slewfoot PK Subban, 87 overall. I mean, he retired at like 32 years old, probably be due to the fact that he was slew-footing everybody and Gary Bettman kicked his ass out. The New York Islanders will get back John Tavares. Now, honestly, the Islanders fans probably forgot about this on purpose, considering how their relationship ended. Nonetheless, the old captain is back, 88 overall. The Rangers will get Martin St. Louis, Rick Nash, Matt Zuccarello, Patrick Kane, and of course, Vladimir Tarasenko. Mark Stone is back in Ottawa, as well as Erik Karlsson. Obviously, Karlsson is one to remember. Matt Duchene, though, is one that not a lot of people might remember, who's actually on the roster, as well as Mika Zibanejad and Alexander DeBrincat. Pittsburgh will have Jerome McGinley at a 91 overall, as well as Patrick Marleau. Iggy did play there, I believe, for one playoff run. He kind of rotated at the end of his career to, he played in Boston, I believe, Pittsburgh, and maybe a few other teams. St. Louis Blues get the great one, Wayne Gretzky at a 98 overall, probably the biggest upgrade of this entire video. Tage Thompson is also back at an 89. They also get Jake Wallman at an 87. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, Tampa Bay might go all the way in this video. They are honestly more stacked than Carolina. Not only do they keep their players, but they also add JT Miller at a 91 overall. Steven Stamkos is back on the roster. Jonathan Marchessault, Carter Verhaeghe as well. I mean, who hasn't played for the Lightning in their NHL career, to be honest? Back on Toronto, I put Zach Hyman at an 87 overall, but Mason Marchment, I think he played like 2 games there way back a few years ago. In Toronto, he played 4, only scored 1 assist, no goals, so not really a rememberable time in Toronto, so he's back on the Maple Leafs, as well as Nazem the Dream Kadri. Move on over to Utah, didn't do anything there. Vancouver will get Matt Sundin at a 91 overall. The Vegas Golden Cheaters don't really get anybody. I don't feel like helping them out at all. Zdeno Chara is back on Washington. He ended his career there. And finally, for the Winnipeg Jets, I didn't add anybody outside of Patrick Laine, who's only an 85 overall in this game, but back when he was playing for Winnipeg, that man deserved to be a 90. Any hardcore hockey fan probably realized that most of these players play for the forgotten teams that I listed, but I'm speaking towards more the casual perspective players and people who don't really in-depthly analyze the game and track it 24/7. Some of these guys I even forgot played for these teams, and I would consider myself a hardcore hockey fan. Also, shout out Anaheim, 13-10 to start the season. Not too shabby. At the end of the year, the Dallas Stars are going to win the President's Trophy, winning 54 games on the season, followed by 21 regulation losses, 7 in overtime. We got Washington up at the top. Edmonton was very good, as well as Florida, Winnipeg. Tampa Bay was only 7th in the league. Ottawa performed better than them in the regular season. Now, we'll see come playoff time. Obviously, all those high overall players are going to help them out probably more than Ottawa, to be honest. Braden Point's going to lead the league in scoring. He had 111 points, followed by Nikita Kucherov at 110. They play in the same line, so that's not really surprising. Connor McDavid was up there. Leon had a great season. Ovi at 39 years old. Only 39 goals, so he actually outperformed this in real life, but he did have a boatload of more apples, finishing with 100 points. Wayne Gretzky, 60 goals, would end up leading the league this season, but only 37 apples? There's not too many players to pass to on St. Louis. I understand that, but still, he's called the great one for a reason, right? Leon ended up with 58. We got Kyle Connor, 53. Passed ahead, 50. McKinnon with 47. Braden Point was up there. Matthews had a bum of a season yet again. Rantanen back on Carolina was producing with 44 goals and 90 points himself. Jake Ottinger and Sergei Bobrovsky are going to tie in wins, both having 45 apiece. And for shutouts, Igor stands alone at 7. And now it is officially playoff time. These are our brackets and matchups. Oh my Edmonton Oilers up 3-0 over Colorado, trying to get a revenge over 2022 first period. Colorado is on the board thanks to Jonathan Drouin. We tie it up though. Thank you, Jeff Skinner. And hopefully Dylan Holloway can indeed will this squad. Having him as our third best player is not too bad. Leon will strike in the power play. And then Darnell Nurse of Mackenzie Blackwood gives the Oilers the insurance marker. And they have quite literally just swept the Avs in round number 1. The Dallas Stars are leading 3-2 in their series against St. Louis. First period, an absolute barn burner, 4-1 for the Stars. 4-1 after 2, and they have eliminated the Blues and Wayne Gretzky from the postseason in the very first round. The Panthers trying to repeat what Dallas just did to their opposition, 1-1 after 1. Second period, Luosterainen will score on Pyotr Kochetkov and make it a 1-goal affair. Never mind, Matthew Tkachuk will chip in. 3-1 lead for the Panthers here in round number 1. Things are not looking too great for Carolina. 4-1, Anton Lundell. As the Hurricanes, you had so much hype and promise, and yet again, you let us all down, losing in the very first round. Pittsburgh Penguins trying to force a Game 7 up against the New York Rangers. I think the last time they played in 2022, that did go 7 games, so we could have a repeat of that. The Rangers right now leading 3-2 in the series, 3-2 in the game, and they, again, are relying on Igor Shesterkin to just backstop them to a Stanley Cup, which hasn't worked out so far. But they have won playoff series, so you can't really complain about that. 2 minutes to go, 1 minute to go. Here we go. 1:45 remaining to go, potentially in the series, as the Rangers trying to hold on to a 1-goal lead over the Jerome Iginla Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby over to Jerome. There it is, Sid. Shooting, no shot to be had there. A 95 overall Igor Shesterkin is going to be tough to beat, especially with the clock dwindling down the way it is. 43 seconds to go. I might have to pull the goalie. All right, we're pulling him. Empty net for the Pens. Tristan Jarry head to the bench and head to the AHL. Iggy walking in. Iggy. Oh my God. He can't even get a shot on net. The computers are inept. Crosby in the middle, and Chesty will make the save. 25 seconds to go. Martin St. Louis leading the rush. He's got an empty net to shoot at, and he just elected on a floaty little backhander. So still hard on the forecheck. Nash to Fox, and there we go. The New York Rangers will seal the deal in their first round matchup up against Pittsburgh. We move on now to the second round matchups. We got Dallas and Winnipeg, Edmonton and Vancouver, Toronto and New York, which that'll be a fun one, and then the Battle of Florida between the Panthers and the Lightning. The Toronto Maple Leafs have a 3-0 series lead against New York, something I really did not see happening. Unfortunately for them, on home ice in Game 4, the pressure and the lights are as bright as they can get. They are down by 2. Now down by 1 thanks to Mason Marchment scoring on Igor Shesterkin halfway through this third period. Never mind, Chris Kreider will seal the deal on Anthony Stolarz. Wait, maybe not. Mason Marchment has a goddamn legacy game here in Game 4. But the New York Rangers, will they hold on to force a Game 5? Yes, they will. The Stars are going straight belt to ass on the Winnipeg Jets right now, up 3-1 in their series. Down 3-1 in the game, though, as Winnipeg is trying to force a Game 6 back on home ice. You know what they say about Texas? Everything is bigger there, including the deficit, as it is a 4-1 beating. Wait a minute, Jason Robertson makes it a 2-goal game. Can the Stars claw their way back into this one? 10 minutes to go here in the third period. They need a quick one. They're not going to get it. Not looking too great for Dallas, as they got to go back to Winnipeg for a game number 6. The Leafs right now are struggling with the pressure. Up 3-0 in the series. Now it's a 3-2 series, and they are down 2-0 in the third yet again as New York, if they force to a game 7, it goes back to Madison Square Garden on home ice. Martin St. Louis on the power play on Stolars. It is a complete shutout here in Toronto as they get dominated. And they go to a pivotal game number 7. The Oilers are up 3-2 against Vancouver, trying to close the series out. It is a 1-1 tie in the third period. Thank you, Evan Bouchard, for striking. Who scored for Vancouver? It was Hedl. Philip Hedl on Stuart Skinner. We got ourselves a game. A 1-1 tie here in the third. 4-on-3 power play for Edmonton. They don't get anything on it. They don't capitalize whatsoever. 5 minutes to go here in the third. There we go. Connor McDavid will strike and take the lead. Less than a minute to go. Late stages of the third period. 1:43 left to go. Thank you, Connor McDavid, for giving us the lead. I don't want to go to another game 7 against Vancouver, so hopefully we can get it done here. The Nucks, they're going all out. They're down by 1. They're going to pull their goaltender with less than a minute remaining. Horrible turnover by Niels Hoglander. Darnell Nurse moves up to Bouchard. Evan Bouchard over to Perry. Perry, that was a turnover. That was a pizza up the middle that did not get burnt, hopefully. Oh, Hughes. 40 seconds to go. Let's see if Vancouver can cook. Matt Sundin is out there. He's their best player at a 91, but they can't beat Stuart Skin Daddy Skinner. 37 seconds remain. Defensive zone draw. Dylan Holloway turns it over. Uh-oh, maybe we should have left his ass on St. Louis. Full pressure for Vancouver. 30 seconds to go. Oh my God. Did McDavid just take a penalty? Connor McDavid took a slashing call with 27 seconds remaining in regulation. Edmonton's backs are definitely against the wall now. They're down. It's a 6-on-4 with the empty net. Full pressure as well. They got to clear the zone. They just got to dump that puck down. John Klingberg flicks it up, but of course EA had to nerf the dumps. Sundin walking in on the backhand, and Skinner's going to make the save. 17 more seconds to go here in regulation. The Oilers trying to go back to the conference finals for the second time in 3 seasons. Actually, no, third time in 4 years, and Teddy Bluger is offside. The final 10 seconds, horrible turnover there. 8 seconds to go. The clock is not on Vancouver's side as the Oilers, they are headed back to the conference finals for a second consecutive season. Why was I controlling the goaltender? What just happened? Tampa wants a full, complete repeat of what the Oilers just did to the Vancouver Canucks, but right now they got a 2-1 lead heading into the third period. The goal scorers are Jonathan Marchessault and Steven Stamkos, and then Braden Point to extend the lead. I was going to say 2 of these players don't even play for the roster anymore, and then Nikita Kucherov has to chip in as the second best Russian of all time. This is a blowout. 5-1. The Florida Panthers are complete and utter frauds, dude. All right, our lone game 7 of round number 2. Here we go. First period, 1-0 lead. Alex Kaliev will score for the New York Rangers. Second period, no goals to be had, so they're holding on by an absolute thread thanks to Igor Shesterkin pitching a shutout right now. 26 shots on net, 27 saves for the greatest, I'm not going to say greatest goalie in the world right now. That probably have to go to Hellebuck, but nonetheless, 5 minutes to go. Still a 1-0 lead for the Rangers. All right, we got a minute and 30 remaining here in the third period of an elimination game. Shots are 31-29 for the Leafs, but they don't have a single goal right now in this game. Hold up. Nazem Kadri over. Nice save by Igor. They got, what, 54 seconds to cook here. They got full pressure already. They literally just got into the zone, but I guess somehow, some way that equates full pressure. Susi coming up for the Rangers, leading it into the zone. Susie's a monster out there, dude. How big is that man? He's got to be at least 6'5". Schneider at the point. Back to Parasainen. What is this, line 3 for the New York Rangers? Oh, God, horrible turnover. Oh, no, what have I done? Nazem the Dream Kadri the other way. Kadri can't even get a shot on net. Unbelievable. In typical Leaf fashion right now, they are getting shut out by a hot goaltender in a Game 7. They can't seem to score when the lights are the brightest. And I mean, Madison Square Garden has some bright-ass lights, dude. Kaliev, that's a bad turnover. Susi moves up to Kaliev. Over to Patty Kane, empty net, and there we go. Matt Zuccarello will seal the deal. We basically have the same exact matchups as we did last year in real life. Instead of Florida, it's Tampa Bay, and we're going to see who moves on to the Stanley Cup Finals. Both of the conference finals matchups are tied at 2 apiece, so they become a best of 3 And we got a 2-2 tie in game number 5 between the Rangers and the Lightning. New York outplaying them heavily, 31-19, and yet they're down. Yanni Gourde shorthanded. He was shorthanded. And then Shea Fee will score and Igor Shesterkin. What happened to playoff Shesterkin, man? He was just giving the gears to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now he's getting lit up by Tampa Bay. 5 goals on 22 shots, 7 on 27. All right, game 5 between Dallas and Edmonton. Let's see if it's going to be as eventful as the New York game was. 1-0 lead. Jeff Skinner has the lone goal in this hockey game right now, as Stuart Foreskin Skinner putting on a goaltending clinic right now, just like he did in Game 6 against Dallas. So whenever he plays the Stars, he just turns into a prime Carey Price. As Edmonton, are they going to hold on? No, Maverick Bourque will tie the game up at 1 apiece in the late stages of the third period. Here we go. We get our first overtime action of the entire playoff run. Dallas and Edmonton, game 5, series tied at 2. We are in Dallas. Very similar to last year. I'm not even going to lie. Oh no, Granlund over to Harley, who gets absolutely demolished. Was that Nuge? Nuggy destroyed him. Empty net for Dallas. Whoa, Jaromir Jagr was in, what, Ovi's office? All right, we got a power play for the Stars for 2 whole minutes. Heiskanen back to Rope Hintz out in front. That was a pizza that you should not have cooked there, brother. Johnston over to Jamie Benn. Captain Benn walking in. Floaty little shot. Skinner makes the save, though, thankfully. Get it out, boys. Heiskanen at the blue line, getting bodied there by Kasperi Kapanen. Up to Adam Henrique. Henrique coming in, shooting, and Jake Ottinger is going to make the save, though. All right, Dallas is going to come the other way. Jamie Benn just absolutely coned that defensive. How do we give up a 2-on-0? Can somebody explain this to me? 16 minutes to go. Dallas back to even strength here. Thomas Harley tried to blast one. Go! Jeff Skinner, turn on the Jets, buddy. You're waiting way too long, dude. Heiskanen behind his own net. He's going to regroup for Dallas. Miro Heiskanen gets bodied by Leon Draisaitl. Keep it in, boys. Did it get out? I can't even tell if it got out there. Victor Arvidsson gets bodied. Man, people are just dropping like flies left and right here. Like, what is the hitting on? How powerful are NHL players? Heiskanen to Rope Hintz. Hintz doesn't get a shot on net. All right, come on, Leon. Let's see what Leon can do for the Edmonton Oilers. Draisaitl just walks into the defender. He shoved like 3 guys there. I mean, can somebody get a chance? Like a big chance here? It is just back and forth, broken hockey repeatedly. And I'm low-key getting sick of it. Jagr's in that corner, though. Big boy Jagr. He's got the yellow laces and all. You know you're going to see that salute if he gets one in overtime. Skinner walking in, shooting. No shot on net there. Leon Draisaitl steals it. Over to Nuge. Back to the point. Nice save by Ottinger. Jeff Skinner getting bodied in the corner. But Leon comes in there and cleans him up, laddie. Oh, my God. Leon Draisaitl, the big boy that he is. Man, this is probably the most unexciting overtime I think I've ever seen in my life. We had like 1-2 shots maybe. Jagr coming all the way over Granlund, and there it is. Mikael Granlund will score, giving the Dallas Stars a 3-2 series lead. The Stars now have the opportunity to eliminate Edmonton in 6 games. What we did to them last season. They are leading by 1 entering the third thanks to Rope Hintz. Shots are 26-18. They're out shooting Edmonton. Leon has our lone goal right now, so I need McDavid to step up, man. I'll be real. Connor McDavid, it's your time to shine. Just like in the conference finals of last season when he scored the overtime winner, the game starting goal in Game 6. It's not looking too great for the Oilers right now here in Game 6. They're down by 1 with a minute remaining in the third. I am praying for an Edmonton Oilers comeback here in the third period. We got less than a minute to go. Full forecheck, full attack. Leave the zone early. We're going all out here. We got to get our first line out there, though, Edmonton. What are we doing? Go for a change. We got our 4th liners out there. Kasperi Kapanen with less than a minute to go in a Game 6 elimination game. Are we serious right now? Are we actually for real? Maverick Bourque back to the blue line to Smith. Smith off the shin pads of McDavid. You got room, Connor. Connor, come on, McDavid. How does he not pick the puck up? 34 seconds to go. I don't even get an opportunity to pull Stuart Skinner right now. Back. Coming in, Kulak steals it, though. Come on, Troy Stecher. Let's go D pair number 1. D pair number 1. I'm not going empty net yet. Nugent Hopkins to Holloway shooting, and Jake Ottinger is forced to cover it up. Jaromir Jagr leading the NHL in scoring for the postseason. That is not what Dallas is focused on right now, though. They got 20 seconds to go. They win that draw. Beautiful draw win. That's going to kill a bunch of time. Jagr leading the rush. Not a lot of time left for Edmonton. Granlund shooting, blocked, rebound. It's too little too late for the Edmonton Oilers. One final rush. Let's see Dylan Holloway Deking, Holloway waiting. He's getting board played, and there it is. The Dallas Stars are headed to their first Stanley Cup Finals since 2020. The Tampa Bay Lightning, trying to meet Dallas in the Cup Final yet again, have a rematch of 2020. They get a 2-1 lead after one, thanks to Shea Fee and Braden Point. Second period, the floodgates have opened. It is a 5-3 hockey game here in game number 6. As the New York Rangers cannot rely on Igor to win them this series. They need scoring. They need goals. 9 minutes to go here in the third period. Shots are 34-26 for Tampa Bay. They're holding on to a 1-goal lead thanks to Martin St. Louis, but Braden Point will extend it back to 2, and then Braden Hagel as well, as Igor Shesterkin probably had his worst game of the entire playoff run. I guess we're going to have a rematch of 2020 Stanley Cup Finals, this time with a full crowd. No bubble ring, no bubble cup, as we got Dallas versus Tampa yet again. It has been a close series thus far, all knotted up at 2 apiece, turns into a best of 3 now. First period here in Game 5, Tampa Bay will take the lead, Carter Verhaeghe. Second period, Nikita Kucherov and Jonathan Marchessault will strike 1 apiece, and they are going to shut out Dallas and have an opportunity to win their third Stanley Cup of the 2020s. Andrei Vasilevskiy and the Tampa Bay Lightning have been lights out in elimination games in the playoffs. 2-0 lead after one. Yanni Gordon, Braden Point. Second period, all right, they cut it in half. Captain Jamie Benn strikes for Dallas. Makes it a 1-goal game here in the Cup. Never mind, Esa Lindell will score on Vasilevskiy. We get a tie game. The Stars trying to force a Game 7, bring Tampa Bay back to Texas. 8 hard miles to go here in the third period. And there we go. Back will score on Vasilevskiy. 4 minutes to go. 3 minutes. Are they going to do it? We will have a Game 7. Just like, no, my, are we serious? JT Miller with 14 seconds remaining will tie the game up. I cannot believe that JT Miller scored with 14 seconds remaining in regulation. Dallas was so close to having a Game 7 back on home ice. Now they got to just try to survive here in Game 6 with a Stanley Cup in the building. Braden Point coming on down for Tampa Bay to Hagel. Toe drag. Backdoor to Braden Point. He couldn't get a handle on it though. Chernak over to Hedman. Finding Hagel. Shot on net. That was a floaty little shot. Ottinger is forced to cover it up though. Tons of time in this third though. 17 minutes to go. It could be anybody's game. I mean, one shot will change the entire series. Either Tampa Bay is raising the cup on home ice, or we're headed back to Dallas for a Game 7. Yarmir, nice turnover. Robertson to Granlund, and Vasi is making the glove save. We win that draw. Why am I saying we? Thomas Harley over to Jaromir Jagr. I mean, Jagr played on a lot of different teams, so it's not Jagr with the game on his stick, and Vasi makes the save. Andrei Vasilevskiy, the best goalie of his generation. Victor Hedman, nice steal there. He just literally saved the game for Tampa Bay. If they come back now and win the Stanley Cup, Vasi deserves that Conn Smythe for that save. Point all alone in the corner. He bullies Heiskanen, but loses the puck in the process. Hagel, though, he recovers it for Tampa Bay. Brandon Hagel waiting. Finding the middle, Kucherov, backhander, and Ottinger will save that. Offensive zone draw. JT Miller going full old school, no Bucky and all. Jake Ottinger, though, makes the save again. He's going to play the puck. Rope Hintz finds Thomas Harley. Shots are 43-40. A lot of shots in this hockey game thus far. Brutal turnover. That's a horrible turnover, man. Jonathan Marchessault the other way. Marchessault waiting in the middle. Over. Oh, my God. Miller with the game on his stick again. He tied it. He could have ended it. But a great save by Jake Ottinger. It is a goaltender duel right now. Rope Hintz waiting. Hintz back to the blue line. Lindell to Captain Ben. Blasting one off the shin pads of the defender there. Was it Marchessault? It was Marshy playing defense. All right, Miller. You got no bucket against the rules, but I'm going to allow it for now. Radish coming in there. I think it's Darren Radish. I was going to call him Taylor Radish. Miller again, and Ottinger is forced to flash the leather. 17-18 to go here in our first overtime in the Stanley Cup Finals. The Lightning got a 3-2 series lead, trying to win the cup on home ice, just like they did back in 2021. Why Johnston can't shoot that, though. J.J. Moser playing great D for the Lightning. They are trying to win their third cup of the 2020s, which would definitely cement them as a dynasty. Oh my God, man. Dallas is absolutely stupid. How did they not bury it? How did they not even get a shot out of that, let alone bury it? Borkstrand waiting. Back to the point. Perbix, why? Cirelli. Oh my God, what a save by Ottinger. Full pressure for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They got in the offensive zone. J.J. Moser and Ottinger again. We got less than 3 minutes remaining here in overtime number 1. Tampa Bay's had mainly all the chances in this overtime frame. Dallas got to get going here. Find their game. Find some offense. Out in front, Yager. Oh my God, what a save by Vasi. Back to the point, Dumba. Over to Smith. Smith, blasting one. Don't know where the puck is at. Rebound. Doesn't even get on that. Vasi isn't even worried about the save there. Moser off the middle of the Stammer. Former captain is back in Tampa Bay. Oliver Borkstrand. Borkstrand shooting. That's just an easy save by Ottinger. 49 seconds to go. Nice faceoff win. Hedman blasting it, and there it is. Their third Stanley Cup of the 2020s as the Tampa Bay Lightning go all the way on a Victor Hedman game winner, series winner, and the Lightning most definitely are a dynasty now because of that. I mean, they won in 2020, back-to-back in 2021, a little bit of a break, but now in 2025, with some forgotten players, they're going to get it done. And I mean, I told y'all at the beginning of the video, they were a heavy favorite, considering it seems like everybody played for Tampa Bay at one point. As Braden Point, Conn Smythe winner, 14 goals, 28 points in the postseason. Definitely well-deserved. That is the third different Conn Smythe winner for the Lightning in their playoff runs. It was Vasi in one, Hedman in another, and then Braden Point. I can't believe Nikita Kucherov doesn't have a goddamn Conn Smythe yet. I mean, back-to-back 30-point playoff runs is legendary. And the new captain, new era, Victor Hedman, the torch has been passed as you just won your third Stanley Cup of your NHL career. No surprises, Braden Point's going to tie for the lead in points with 28 in the postseason, alongside Yager, who had 10 goals and 18 apples himself. Definitely helped out Dallas a ton, having, what, a 94 overall winger, scoring winger at that, who's also a sniper on their roster. We got Nikita Kucherov up there with 24. JT Miller had 22 and a very clutch goal for the Lightning against the Rangers in that conference final matchup. We had Steven Stamkos producing. Mikael Granlund was very good for the Stars. Jason Robertson at 19. Rope Hintz 18 for the goaltenders. Andrei Vasilevsky, a 933 save percentage. This dude was channeling his inner Pekka Pasta, who literally just came off of a very similar playoff run. Less goals against average, though. Jake Ottinger, he did his part. He had a 921 and 2 shutouts. Igor Shesterkin was not that great, and only a 902. Stuart Skinner, though, how about a 922 for all you haters who hate on this man? Braden Point is going to win the Ted Lindsay and the Art Ross. The Maurice Richard will go to Gretzky on the St. Louis Blues, and we get Nikita Kucherov taking home the Hart. Quinn Hughes will end up winning the Norris. The Conn Smythe, of course, the Braden Point. Jake Ottinger is going to steal the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Wayne Gretzky. Well, that is going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.